Hello there, guys. Good evening to everybody. So this is DC Trader for another market update, as well as some live trade examples for today. Actually, this channel is basically what I've learned from my day trading style, and I'm trying to apply this on the daily market. And basically, most of the styles that I use is mostly price action. So, and also that's about for this channel. So I also would like to hear from you guys and comments on regarding or how to improve this channel to help everybody out, because this channel is mainly for sharing, and I hope that you guys can communicate with me too, so I also would learn from you guys at the same time. So last night I heard that there's a big news coming out today, which is I heard that there is a stimulus package that the US is trying to get out, and it's coming. They said that the news is coming today. So the way I feel that the market right now, it looks like it's waiting for something to happen, right? The last time that the market was on a very high point was on this day, which is on the 12th, right? And the next time it broke higher on the previous high of the day was on the 16th, and ever since this past 3 days it never went higher to this previous day high. So that's about it for today, right? So it seems that it's waiting for something to happen. If you take a look at this, if we start our count from here on the 12th, first entry, and it may look like it wants to go to a second entry, but we don't know yet until late, maybe late this evening or early morning, right? So let's take a look. So basically today I actually got this chart, the 5-minute chart of the S&P 500, and the way I would like to explain is how did I drew these arrows here and what do they mean. For me, I noticed that bigger time frame, smaller time frame, all moves in the way that market moves is first, for example, sellers are here, then the next part of the move, it has to go to the buyers, then the next move has to pass it to the sellers, then the next move, and so on and so forth. It just doesn't go only one way, it goes two ways. That's why the market goes up, down, or pretty sideways, right? So if you take a look at this, the market tried to go higher, it could not go higher, so it dropped. The market tried to go up higher, it could not, so that means that who is in control? The sellers. And at this, on the other hand, it looks to me the buyers too. Okay, the buyers tried here, it even dropped here, but it never retested this particular area. That's why I continued to draw it up. See, it never brought it down. It started here again, right? Now this one, it started to go up, but it never retested this particular area. So what happened? Go to the downside, right? And we got a double bottom around here. It just touched this area, then it went up again, right? This time it was a short-lived for the sellers. They tried to go down again. Unfortunately, there was this moving average here. That's why the market again went up, then it started to go up until a certain point, right? And sometimes I would draw this, guys. You may wonder why, because okay, if you were the seller here who weren't able to get out, how would you get out now, right? How would you sort of average in? So the way I do that is I put this one up here. So if you were this seller who did not get out, where would you think you would add more position, right? There. So if you think about it, then if you drew a line there, oops, like almost around 50% around this area, around this two area here. That's where the market started to started their move. The seller started to go back in again, right? That's why the market went down again. Now it does not happen all the time, but you basically what's our job here in the price action, or our job here is just to take a look at where could there potentially be traders starting their move, right? So that's around here. So it's just an estimate. Now we don't go ahead and just put a, what do you call that, a sell order here to go down, right? No, we wait for the market to reach this area and see what's the reaction, and that's how we move, right? So now let's go back to our market, right? What happened to our market? So the PSE, right? The PSE market just today, actually it started when? It started on Monday, right? Tuesday, Wednesday. So imagine we got 3 big days, right? Let's minimize this. So you got 3 big days. Now, who's still in control? For me, it's still the buyers. It never was the sellers yet for 3 days. Now, do you think that the market will do a pullback? We don't know yet. But the reason why I drew this particular Fibonacci is, you know that the sellers were here. If they weren't able to get out, what were they thinking? How would they get out? Where would they start, right? Something like that, right? So that's why I drew this line from here to here to give them a rough estimate on what you think market will react at what point, right? So that's around this. That's the reason for this one. And if you take a look at the way I draw, I always start from maybe through 2 to 3 moves, because the market, there's only few things that the market will do. It's either it's this, which is very range, or the market is going on an uptrend, you know, like this. Or a downtrend. And it also reflects on the bigger time frame, right? Like that. There's only now at this particular area, we noticed that this was a battleground, right? And where they actually trapped the sellers here, when the bulls got out, I think that the sellers got out quickly too. Now, were they all be able to get out? Not sure about that, but that's how the market, that's why the market just jumped up right here, move, right? So in this scenario, what do you think will happen tomorrow? Will there be any pullback? If there are any pullback, I would say this particular area would be, we don't know, but this 6168 around that area. So 6168 and 61, so around this particular area might be a good area to take a look at what is the reaction of the market. Oops. Around this area, maybe a little lower. Let's see what will happen to the market there. So that is for this market. So let's move to the next. Now in today's activity, I'll show you what went through my mind when I actually bought BDO. I was happy today, very, very happy today that it reached my target of 93.50. But as I look over, right, what happened? Okay, so let's go to BDO, guys. BDO. Let's change this one to BDO. Okay. Now for BDO, let's make this one bigger. Now let us remove some of the lines here. Okay. Now let's return back to memory lane here. The first time I actually bought BDO was on August 12th. It was a Wednesday. I'm not so sure exactly the time, but what was I thinking at this particular moment? Okay, I noticed that this particular area, the market dropped and it went back up. And if you take a look at it, it looks to me like it wanted to go higher. So I bought this particular day 89.70. Let's make this one bigger. And I was excited, right? Why? What happened? Actually, on a couple of days, so let's change this one to 3 days later, which is maybe until 17, right? It went up and it went down again. Oh my goodness. I should have get out of here, but that's okay. At that time, I feel like, okay, let's do this chart here. Oh, look, that's beautiful, right? It looks like it's gonna go back here, maybe higher, because take a look at this, guys. Look at that movement. I feel that the market is going to this 114. But what happened, right? The next time I bought this was on August 26. Why? Oh, what happened? Okay, it went from here, the market from here, so that's like a second entry to the downside, second entry short. And I was thinking, okay, at least I still have this area here where the buyers bought in. So I bought another time. How much did I bought that price? 86.75 to be exact. 86.75. And so my first position was here, so my average was around here already. Okay, that's okay. So what happened to the market? Well, the market actually moved maybe until, I think it was September maybe 9, if I'm not mistaken. What happened? Whoa, the market reached to 93.50. And I was excited, right? Okay. But I thought to myself, this is for sure, it's gonna go here. At least 100, guys. I'm gonna make good. Well, what happened, right? You guys know the rest. So it moved. The next time I bought it was on September 17. What happened, guys? The market went down again. Oh my God. Okay, that's okay, guys. So now I got 3 positions. So it actually, a month later, what happened? A month later, you know the story. Until today, let's change this one to today. I got out at 93.50. Though I do made 5% from the transaction, but I was pretty sweaty around this area here. I was really like, oh my goodness, what was going on here? Is it gonna move or not? Luckily, I waited patiently. Then I reached the target, right? So the moral lesson of the story is we gotta be patient sometimes, you know. So I learned from my friend, actually one of my good friend, that sometimes you can't wait for the big moves. If you have some profits a little bit, take some of them out. You don't want to be waiting until you had no profits, right? So that's what I learned from that lesson, right? So today, what we're gonna do today is we're gonna do some charting, right? So I know I talk too much sometimes, guys, but let's start from the charting. So let us clear all the charting, right? So let's say I have no position already on BDO. What if I want to go back in? Now this, again guys, this is not a recommendation. This is just the way I would do my process in studying whether how to get in or not, right? So okay, so let's take a look at the monthly first. I usually take a look at the bigger picture, which is the monthly, and you take a look at it from this level here. This is the starting point. Where were we? We are now at the second entry from the top, and from the bottom, first entry, second entry. So this is the second entry too, right? And you know the moving average is here, and as what I've discussed in the previous days, sometimes the market jumps so low away from the moving average, and sometimes it likes to rubber band back to the moving average. That was, I would say, like 60-40. There's a 60% chance more it's gonna go up than go down. That's way my feeling. So that's about it. So you know from the moving average. Now let's take a look at the monthly daily view. Okay, so you make this one bigger, and as you notice that, what's the market doing? Now you know that from this low, first entry short, second entry short. So if you were on the short side, you would try to push the market down, right? But right now, the market, the last time the market went lower than the previous low was this month, August, right? So now you know that the market is trying to move up. So that's why I would then go to the dailies, and let's take a look. Where could be a good entry point if you were the sellers, right? Where could your target be? Where could you start going back? So from here down to here, if you were the seller, you weren't able to cash in. Some sellers weren't able to cash in at 85 because it did not go below 85, right? So you're still stuck. So if you put that to a Fibonacci, right? So I would say this particular area around 96 may be the first one, right? So let's just change this one to make it look a little bit clearer, right? There you go. Around 96. The next level will be around 90, 99.50, right? So it does coincide with this particular area. So this would be, I would say the sellers might try again. Now, we are buyers, right? So if we were given a chance to buy this particular stock, where would we buy, right? That's a good question. So my estimate here, right? If I were the, so let's get this thing. Oops. Let me get this thing out. So let's make this one bigger, and let's change this one to BDO. So for me, I actually drew this particular, again, guys, if you try this method of mine, try this one, right? If you notice, you mark your charts basing on like first sellers, buyers, sellers again, buyers, sellers again, buyers, sellers again, and then you know from this, the last one, it's all buyers, right? You just mark that. So currently right now, buyers are in control, right? So where did the move start? From here, and it ended here. So in case if sellers tries to go in, where could be potentially buyers tries to go back to the market, right? So I marked this one around 90, maybe 90, 76, maybe a good place to start buying. Why? If I put this here around 90, it's around this area here, which you notice, right? The last time there was this particular seller may be able to get out, right? So if this comes back here, if that particular seller is still there, maybe they will try to liquidate here and move the market up. So I may be waiting for BDO. This is not recommendation, guy, educational purposes only, around here. That may be a good way to go back in, right? All right, that's for this particular market, so we know now. So the next thing we're gonna discuss is PGOLD, my current position on PGOLD, and what happened today. So if you take a look at PGOLD, guys, all right, it looks like it's a better day than the previous 3 days, definitely, guys. Now we're moving, right? We're moving a little bit up now. PGOLD here, right? What happened? So I want to zoom in at this particular candle. What happened today? So you know, for the since October 14 until 16, you got a straight sell-off, and now currently we are kind of like ranging. So the market push up. Why is this not down here? Because the market never broke, right? So the market went up. Sellers tried but could not break this low. So what happened? Today, buyers move in, right? Now the issue is that they're trying to break out of this 42.50. Now of course, why 42.50? This is because of 42.50 in this area here. The last time that a lot of buyers started buying, right? So there could be some buyers still left in this area, right? So let's hope they're willing to push this market again up. Now where do you think could be a good point or the resistance to start? Now of course I've previously discussed 47, but it did not reach to 47. It just dropped near 46.20 or 18 cents down, right? So my thinking, right, I may want to look through what's reaction to this particular moving average, the 21 moving average, which is around my break-even point, 45.43, right? Around that area, right? So let me see what's the reaction. Like, I'm hoping that the market will go up, right? And maybe break even a little bit or even a little bit higher, maybe around 47, then go back down or whatever, right? Just let me get out of here, but I'm pretty stuck here, right? But anyway, that is for this market. So my goal right now is as long as PGOLD does not go back down to 42.50, we have a chance to go at least 44.81 and maybe above that, hoping that we can go back to this zone where they started some traffic, right? To go this area here. We're stuck here, then we'll see what will happen around this particular area. That's for this particular market. And the next market that we're going to be discussing is HLCM. And what happened to HLCM today, guys? HLCM actually was, let me see here. HLCM, yesterday I think I was discussing about this particular price, 571 or something, right? So let's take a look at that at the give me a second here. Where's my oops, this one, HLCM. So we were discussing I think yesterday regarding this. Now this particular area once before started the show to go down, and again sellers in this particular area tried to move the market down. Now of course the most important part is we need to break free of these two resistance. Once we can break free, that's the only way we can move out from this particular zone. And hoping now, the only good thing about this particular stock is if we take a look at the monthly, right? That's the what's my basis on my analysis is first starting from here, you got the first entry and you got the second entry. As long as it does not go below 440, we could go up. Now, why 571, 570? We're having a problem because of this particular area. The last time we were there in 2019, we got some issues. 570, right? It was the starting point of all the bulls moving up, right? Imagine that, from 570 to the high point of 16. Now, I think there are some buyers still there. So let's hope they can push those sellers out to get this thing back, maybe around to the moving average. That's what I feel for this particular market. And before we end this video, I would like to show you my trade last night, and it was scary last night, guys. 100% scary. Now, what was my main reason here? Let me play this one.
Order pending.
So my feeling was, because of this particular area and over here, I feel the market may want to retest this particular zone. So I drew a Fibonacci, and I was thinking this was the 50%, right? And maybe 61. This could be a good entry price, right? So that was my premise for entering in this trade. And if you take a look at it from this new low, you have first entry going down, second entry going down, and that seems to be, it's trying to go down again, right? So I move my stop just a tick after this particular candle, and I was thinking, oh no, don't take me away. Oh, look at that, look at that. I was shocked. Oh no, oh no, oh no. I was like, oh my goodness, what's going on? Right, and I was kind of like, would this go down or not? It feels like it's having some
target filled.
I was sweaty. Woo! You can hear me that. That was a very hard trade. And you know what happened? The next thing what happened, it broke this area. Luckily I was able to get out there. What happened to that area here? Let me show that to you guys here on the Ninja Trader platform. Let me see. What happened was, let's make this one bigger. Where was that? And then let's right click, go to data series, and let's plot just the markers. There you go. Oops. So basically, guys, let's make this one bigger. This was that trade. I was just able to get out by a few tick, and what happened to the market? The next thing you know it went up. So if I wasn't able to get out, I could have just I would have lost, right? So that's why I said to myself, woo, I was sweaty. And this was actually, if you think about it, as I review it, this wasn't that great of a move, right? Take a look at this, guys. The moving average is like a straight line, a horizontal line. It would be better if it was going up, like a trend line up style. Alright, so that's about here for today. Thank you very much, and hope to see you guys next week. And if you want to comment in, please do. I will really appreciate it. Thank you very much, and have a great evening. Take care. God bless.